everybody, I'm Victoria from Anden. We're about to check out a state-of-the-art facility in Windham, Maine. Welcome to Paul's Boutique. This can be a very wasteful industry, so one of the things we were impressed about here at Paul's Boutique is that they are a zero-waste facility.
I'm standing here today with Shaw. He's the owner-operator of Paul's Boutique in Windham, Maine, and this is a state-of-the-art facility. You were the general contractor. You built this from the ground up, and it's a beautiful facility, and put a lot of thought into it. What are some of the things you did that are unique about this place?
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Construction and cannabis has always been passions of ours. So this wasn't our first go-around. You know, we've had the leisure of building a couple of these facilities out, and through time and repetition, we kind of figure out what we want to do next time and what not to do next time. A lot of our planning and design on the front end of this project really helped us lay out a zero-waste facility. It's not only good for Paul's Boutique, but good for the long-term future of the facility and the environment. So we've got 3 different water management systems. The first is behind me here. It's a nutrient injection skid.
So, and you're controlling everything with GrowLink pretty much in the facility?
For sure. So GrowLink covers all the environmental parameters for all of our cultivation rooms, as well as all the irrigation and fertigation parameters for all and any of our irrigation fertigation events. That's down to the recipe mixing and the batch tank, as well as the irrigation event. And we can schedule those either on timers, or we can schedule them on substrate or TDR sensors. The TDR sensors record the volumetric water content and EC inside the nutrient solution, and we have set points for each cultivar and strain in each zone in each room, and irrigation events are called accordingly. Our second system's an arc skid. It's an automated condensate reclamation skid. It recycles all of our transpired condensate water, and we feed it right back to the plants. Roughly 950 gallons a day. It's collected in this raw condensate tank. After it's collected in this raw condensate tank, it's treated with oxidizer. The oxidizer is recorded on an ORP meter. Once the water is properly treated for algae blooms and bacteria growth, then it goes through our arc skid. Our arc skid treats that water, removes the chlorine and any potential heavy metals that are inside the water, and then they're collected here in our treated water and ready to be fed back to the plants.
That's awesome.
Thank you. It was definitely an expense that wasn't required, but for long-term environmental standards and just good business practices, we decided that it was the right decision to make.
You have to do it up front while you can.
That's right. The cheapest way isn't always the best way. So we took the high road on this one.
So we'll look at it after a while here. We'll take a look at how you're getting rid of your wastewater. But yeah, what do you call her? You have a name for her?
The Incon evaporator. My guys call her Connie.
Connie, yeah. You're collecting all your wastewater, and then what happens with it there?
So yeah, all the runoff water's laden in nitrates and phosphates. Those nitrates and phosphates, without municipality return, they end up in the septic field, the septic tank, and the leach field, and they ultimately end up in the water table. So our evaporator system collects all of our runoff water. It reduces it through steam, and then a wastewater management company comes and picks it up.
So it just turns that water into clean steam that goes outside, and then you're left with the sludge behind, and you dispose of that properly.
Correct. It reduces the water by about 90%. And what's burned off is just steam, and then what's remained is a nutrient concentrate or sludge, and that's picked up and properly disposed of by a wastewater management team.
That's awesome.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Paul's Boutique decided to go with Anden because we were able to provide them with units that helped them get to where they needed to faster. Because these are large rooms and they wanted to be able to bring their humidity levels up at a faster rate, they decided to go with our large capacity Anden steam humidifiers.
So I see when you designed the facility, you decided to go with the Anden steam humidifiers. What was your thought process behind that? Have you used other different types of humidifiers in the past?
For sure. You know, we all need, as cultivators, we all got the need to bring up and maintain high humidities in vegetative and early flowering stages. There's a traditional method of ultrasonic or fog, and that was the method that we started this process on. We're familiar with it and we've done it before. The further we got down that road, the more we look back in the past from our other choices and decisions and realize that those are really high maintenance. They tend to calcify and build up and clog frequently. They also need RO water to come in, so you have expensive RO systems to feed them. Anden's solution with the steam humidification was new to me. I found it in Anden, and we absolutely fell in love with the idea. It eliminates the need for the RO system. It eliminates the maintenance that's required with ultrasonic or fogging system. And the amount of throttle or horsepower that our Anden steam units have is crazy. We can bring up around 20% humidity in less than 10 minutes in our flowering rooms.
Awesome.
Our flowering rooms are 1,800 square feet, 25,000 cubic feet. That's some serious throttle on those units.
Yep.
Paul's Boutique is well known locally for providing some of the best flower on the market. So this is a big facility with large rooms, so they had to bring in the big boys. They brought in the 710s.
So as we were touring the facility, I see you've got a bunch of different units and dehumidifiers. You've got the 710 in your flower rooms. I think in your mom room you got a 320. You've got 130 pint in your dry cure room. So you got a whole bunch of Anden dehumidifiers. But the 710s you put in the flower room, they're doing a good job for you and hit the mark.
For sure, the 710s are workhorses. Oh, they're really powerful machines. The amount of throttle on those as well is ridiculous. We have 3 units in each flowering room. We cycle them on independently because their ability to rip moisture out of the air is crazy. They're really strong and powerful units, so we use them independently and cycle them on at varying set points, one following the other and one shutting off before the other.
That's what we try to bring to the table too, is to help people like yourself when you're in the design process, because there's so many parameters that change all the time. By moving the ballast for the LEDs out of the room, you had less of a heat load in the room, less air conditioning. Your air conditioning is also a dehumidifier. So you've got to adjust your dehumidification load to match up with what your AC is doing as well, and that's what we try to bring to the table and help people out with.
For sure, Anden was really helpful with helping us determine our latent loads in different rooms based upon our feeding content, our water expectations and water demands. I think we've got every single unit possible carried by Anden in the facility, from the smallest to the biggest unit.
I know you put a lot of thought into your environmental controls in here, just for your HVAC and dehumidification and humidification. And one of the unique things I saw was the lighting that you have in here. All your ballasts are in a server room, which really reduced your heat load and allows you to not have as much air conditioning. Your air conditioning requirements are a lot less with that, getting that heat out of that room.
For sure, we were really excited about the opportunity to choose an LED lighting company. It's a hard decision to choose LED lighting, but it's an expensive decision. The energy efficient main program made that more digestible. At the time, we were awarded the largest energy efficient rebate in the state of Maine. It was a 6-figure rebate.
Nice.
It made the purchase of all these LED lights digestible. The whole facility is LED. Everything from its incandescent and general purpose lighting, all the way down to every agricultural light in the whole facility.
Well, not only do you save money on the LED itself, but then having, like I said, having the heat out of the room really reduced your how many tons of cooling you had to have per room as well. So.
For sure, the real benefits of LEDs, as we all know, is real low maintenance cost. They've got a longer shelf life. We decided to choose TSR grow lights. The TSR grow lights are really nice for a couple different features. One of the features that we've enjoyed the most is the remote drivers and servers. So we've got 300 plus fixtures in the facility. That's a lot of ballast overhead inside the agricultural rooms for maintenance purposes. All the drivers and ballast are all held in one room, our server driver room. It's isolated 300 plus ballast down to 11 ballast. It's really easy to service and maintain, and they're cooled independently inside the server driver room. It also allows us to eliminate a lot of excessive heat inside the flowering rooms.
So we also, when we were touring your facility, we saw your state-of-the-art hash extraction manufacturing process. That's pretty impressive.
I appreciate it. Solventless has always been really special to us. We've always enjoyed solventless concentrates. We think they're good for the consumption, and they're also a really tasteful way to experience the true essence of the plant.
Nice.
So we've kind of went full tilt into solventless. We've got an in-house manufacturing facility. It allows us to do all of our own extractions, all of our own drying of hashish, processing downriver from that into rosins and vape pens, and furthermore through the edible kitchen into the edible line, a full solventless line of edibles.
I see you added a dehumidifier in there as well. Kind of got going and got a little too moist in there. And
For sure. Anden dehumidification plays a solid role in every aspect of this facility. There's not a room, except for the bathrooms, that don't have Anden dehumidifiers.
Nice.
So that's Paul's Boutique. Thank you so much for coming to check it out. Make sure you reach out to us directly if you have any questions or comments about your grow.